It's 9:26 on a Wednesday evening. We are getting started a little late tonight, folks. Thanks for watching another edition of the Superstars podcast. I am here. I am your host, Chad Levine, the Superstar Lender, and I am here with a massive superstar in the industry. This guy is a legend. Josh, I'm not going to lie, man. It's been a while since I've got agents hit me up for my guests, so you're a pretty popular dude, man.
You mean on Facebook earlier? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I had everyone be like, and then I just got a text message from Mark Gata and a couple other agents like, "Where's Josh? You're supposed to be on at 9:00."
Yes, I am very well traveled in the industry.
You are, and we're gonna get into all that, and I think that's why everyone was so intrigued by tonight's episode. I think we're gonna get a lot of play on the replays because I know everyone goes to bed early. But you know what, Josh? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I found these 9:00 shows. They're late, and it's a struggle. But for some reason, I just get better engagement. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's like that last, if people are doom scrolling on their phone on Facebook or social media, right? Like it's like they're kind of like they're done for the day. They're not checking their email. They're literally mentally checked out. So instead of like being good people and reading a book, they're poisoning their brain listening to the two of us,
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, you're more philosophical and polished than I am. So I would say if they're listening to you, they'll learn something. If they're listening to me, who the hell knows what they're going to learn? But that's okay. It's all
All
good.
right. We're here
So,
regardless,
yeah, we are here regardless. So we've got a lot to dig into. I want to talk. I always do these shows by placing some context and giving everyone your background, getting where you come from. You and I haven't been on a show together in God knows how long. So I want to place some things in light there for people to know. So let's start with number one. Let's start with the agency. So it's Queenston Realty, based out of Princeton, New Jersey, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm a co-founder of Queenston Realty.
Yep.
And it's myself and two partners, Ingela Kostenbader and Vanessa Shives. And
Say that twice. How long did it take you to?
I know, it's very Swedish sounding name. And she'll tell you how awesome Sweden is. And so we started our 3-year anniversary is coming up next month in February. So
that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
And
it was sort of a forced deal, obviously I was at Weichert for a very long time, and I would say I left under cloudy circumstances and at best. And then after I left, they said, well, we're not staying if you're not staying. And we just sort of, put this together and built a really nice little brokerage based on what we thought a brokerage should be versus the world we had come from, where I guess you could say it was a little more restrictive.
and I want to dive in, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of that. And the one thing I know about you is you're making it sound like it wasn't calculated, but I know you well enough to know that there was a lot of strategic planning in there, a lot of analysis. You're that kind of guy. So you're making it seem like it was a shot from the hip, but I would imagine that was deep in your belly for a long time.
Look, I was actually talking to my dad this morning, this afternoon actually, and I said, if you told me 3 years ago and change, right, I'd be co-owner of, I think we're at 6 different companies. I would say you're out of your mind. I'm at my former broker, and I've been there for 20 years, and this is my job, and this is what I do. And it was a big part of my identity. They fired me the day before Thanksgiving after 20 some odd years. And that was the end. Like that, it was over.
You know what? We're here already. You know what? Screw it, because most people don't make it to the 40-minute mark in this show anyway. So let's just get right into it.
Right.
So what the hell? We're already here.
We're here.
So Queenston built out of the necessity. So let's give everyone context. You were with Weichert. Everyone knows you're with Weichert. Let's not.
It was Weichert for a long time. Yeah.
It was Weichert a long time. Were you with Weichert 20? Was it 20 years with Weichert?
20 plus years. Yeah.
20 plus years. Tell everyone what you did and how many agents you interacted with over that 20 plus years.
So I started in sales, right? And like everybody else, and then I managed an office in Northwest Morris County for 9 months. They asked me to come to Princeton. I moved to Princeton, took over the Princeton office. And I
So
was here for a long.
you didn't have any family roots prior to that in Princeton.
No, it's just
No.
like, you know,
Mm.
Princeton it's a marquee town, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I helped put the company on the map in Princeton, and it wasn't easy, but we did, and we just had great people. We had great systems.
Talk to us. So this is where I get good at what I do, Josh. I don't let little things lie. So
Okay.
you are attacking an entirely new market. You're not from there. You're not from there at all. And Weichart says, and I always mispronounce. I'm horrible. I butcher words. So if it's Wacker, I don't know.
I could care less anymore.
So
You
whatever,
can call it
W.
whatever you want.
We'll
Yeah.
call it W. So W says, Josh, go to Princeton, New Jersey, right? And build out the office. And Josh says, I don't know shit about Princeton, New Jersey, but I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah. And I moved. I sold my house, moved.
Wow.
Came here.
So
Yeah.
you sell the house, you're all in. You have kids at that time?
Had a baby, 2-week-old. Yeah.
A 2-week-old baby, and you look at your wife then and say, we're out. We're going to Princeton.
We're going to Princeton.
Okay. And she says what?
Okay.
Okay, that's it?
Okay. Let's try it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good wife. And you're what age at this point?
I'm in my 20s.
You're in your 20s. Okay. So it's a good opportunity, right? And in your mind, and at that point, how much real estate experience had you had?
2.5, 3 years.
And sold and what? Just grassroots, good mentoring.
Yeah, you know, when I sold real estate, I to this day, I think real estate, despite the advent of the fact that you and I are talking to each other from 2 different states, and people are watching from wherever.
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're in New Jersey. I thought you were on the PA side. All right.
I moved.
Are you in South Jersey?
Yeah, brother.
So it's like 2 states. You're different. So, so despite all of that, and despite the reach, there is a basic component to real estate. And I still believe that. I still, you know, believe in the basics, and because they work. They put money in your pocket, and they take good care of your customers, and not, you know, customers first, money as a output of that. But so, you know, I focused, you know, my coaching efforts on the basics, on scripts, on direct mail, on being a killer listing agent, on conversion strategies, on all of those things that really work. They still work. I had a coaching session this morning with a guy who just joined my team at 8:30. I taught him the same scripts I was teaching 20 years ago. You know why?
So that stuff, did W teach you that, or did you learn that?
No, I mean, it's kind of like osmosis. You develop things on your own. You know, my former company had a great training background at the time, and you know, but again, it was 2 weeks and you were on your own, more or less. So it's.
I mean, do you think, like, be honest with me, Josh? And this is my general feeling. I'm not going to say, I don't know if I should go as high as 90. This isn't factual. I'm just throwing a percentage out. The majority of people that are leading and mentoring shouldn't be doing it. Right? Am I wrong?
No, 100% right.
Because
I think that's why, like, a traditional brokerage is in trouble, because they're competing with team leaders like myself.
You know what?
I'll say this, and I'm going to like rankle somebody's feathers.
That's maybe a nugget. That's going to be a reel. Jason, mark that down. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Okay, here we go. Go ahead, John.
But that's the truth. So if you have somebody was promoted into management and wants to manage and is not well grounded in sales, coaching, is not going to go out and develop business and coach people to conversion, and I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you anyway. But I'm going to beat you faster, and my team's going to beat you. So the first guy I hired to my.
By the way, Josh, I love this side of you. I haven't seen it, but I love it. Keep going.
So the first guy I hired to my sales team after we opened Queenston. So I run the company. You know, I have three founders and owners, and so I do the coaching and for the company, and we run the company. And but the first guy I hired to my sales team, the Wilton Group, he was at Keller Williams for a year. He did 0 deals. He had zero production. And I just looked at his production last year with me for his first fiscal year with me. He did just shy of 8 million closed.
Oh, wow.
You know, the basics work, coaching works, repetition works. Anybody who's worked with me knows practice makes permanent, not perfect. I don't care
I
about
dig that. That's cool.
true. And I heard that from my swim coach in like the 6th grade, right? And so that's it. That's a problem for the traditional brokerage model, is that the manager, they're probably nice people, and they're probably, they like answering GATA minutes and, doing all that stuff. I don't care, but I'm going to teach you how to do $8 million in your first year in sales on my team. No other manager is going to make that claim. Team leaders, I will tell you, that I follow and interact with, they can not only make the claim, but they can back it up.
So I want to dive more into this, because I love this. I'm a junkie for this, by the way. This stuff you're talking about, I could just eat it up with a spoon. I love it.
I thought you were on a diet.
Yeah, I am on a diet, but listen, when it comes to
I follow you. I love watching you online. I think it's great what you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And these foods,
you look good, by the way.
Thank you. So you ready for this? You ready?
I'm
30 pounds in 31 days, bro.
You did?
30 pounds.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, 30
Should
pounds.
write a book.
Well, you know what it was? You know what the catalyst is? Mark challenged me. Mark got to challenge me. So I said,
That'll do it.
We all go into this competition.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah, and Mark and I are built from the same fabric, right? You don't put two competitive people in this. Yeah, exactly. It's true, man. It's totally true. But anyway, my goal is to look good. Yeah, crack. Oh my god, dude. It's funny, but it's true. But FYI, I'm winning right now. So So all right, I want to get back to this. So
all right.
You it's like, I feel like you're getting dropped off in a desert. The family comes down from a helicopter and you land in Princeton, a 2-week-old baby, and like, run me through the process, man, of building an entire office out there.
It's funny. The first week I walked in, like, people were just walking out the front door to go to a different office.
Nice.
They don't tell you that when you sign the contract. And
they're like, who's this guy?
Yeah, and they don't tell you that before you got there, half the office had already left. And it wasn't without blood, sweat, and tears. I'll be honest. And
Yeah.
I do think, my first management assignment, when I took it over, there was 14 agents in the office, and I think I let go 8 of them like the first week. And we built that up, and we were, they had been losing money perpetually, and within 9 months we were profitable and tracking to be really nicely profitable.
So
and,
walk me through that. You walk into the office, it's a weird feeling because you have no idea what's going on, right? Are you prepared at all? Did they give you nothing?
To the best of their ability. And at the time, you look back and you think it was good at the time, but at the time you look back and
no. So you're not prepared. You're 20 something. You're here. The 8 agents that you let go, were they cancer to the culture? Like, what were they doing?
One of them was, yeah.
Yeah. You're just like, you know what? You're not going to do me any good. So you got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. He said he came down to my office and said, he was like warning me, Josh, a lot of people are unhappy. And I'm thinking, well, there's not a lot of people here. There's like 10. So how can a lot of people be unhappy? So I said, if you're unhappy, I need you to leave. And I said, you got to go.
Yeah. All right.
And that was it.
So he leaves, and then walk me through it. I'm Josh. I want to know the details. I want to.
Well, then I spent 9 months recruiting. Yeah. I cleaned the office. I emptied the office. I brought a dumpster to the office. I did everything, and you make it. You sort of.
What do you? What's the pitch at that point when you're recruiting? What are you telling people
from a recruiting perspective?
Yeah.
Me, I'll coach you.
Yep. And then at that point, did you know how to coach, or were you full of shit?
Yeah, I knew how to coach. I was fortunate. No, I was fortunate. My first work job was with Dale Carnegie Training, and I learned how to coach.
Oh, I didn't see. We missed this part. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where. Okay. So you.
Yeah. So I had a very good fundamental background in coaching, training, adult education, and so I just I took that and applied it when I went into leadership.
Well, hold on, Jason. Can Josh go on right now, because he's my friend, and just share it real quick? I want to make sure that people don't miss this.
So should I?
Jason,
There's a button here that says stream this to my audience. Should I do that?
I don't. No, because I think then you have to log it. Jason, come on for a minute. We do this every once in a while. Just come on the
Okay.
screen, Jason.
Yeah, I guess you can try that. Try to do the stream to the
Oh,
audience.
God help us. All right. I'm
Do
not
that?
a
Should he do-
religious. I'm not a religious man, but I'm putting one up to the big eye. Please.
Wait. So should he do that or should he do it on his phone, bro?
Try from your phone. Just easier, so you
Just
don't
go to your phone, go to my page, and then just hit share. That's all.
All right.
Make this super simple. I don't want you dropping nuggets and people
I
not
know. Like,
watching
well, I
this.
don't want to like screw up the audio again.
That's-
That's my concern. All right. So I see you.
yeah.
I see me looking at my phone.
Okay, and then hit share.
Share.
That's how you know we're in a simulation. You're looking at you. Look at your phone.
I'm looking at me, looking at you. All right. I shared it.
All right. Jason, check his page out for me and make sure we're cool when you get a chance. Supposed to be my tech guy, freaking tech guy. Come on. Oh man. All right. So you do you, and I get it. Now I get it. So this makes more sense to me now, Josh. You are a classically trained coach.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about that because the coaching thing has gotten huge. I even wanted to coach. I don't even know what I was going to coach about, but I wanted to coach, right? There she is. Hi,
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa. So, all right. So, the coaching thing. Give me that whole thing, man. Give me that whole. So you were really years ahead of the craze because it's big now.
Yeah, but again, it's coaching is the basics, right? It's a lot. I hate to say it in sales. Most salespeople fail because they don't know what to say. And that's the honest to God's truth. They get a customer on the phone, they talk them off the phone. They're presenting to a customer, they don't know how to ask for the order. Sales is scripts. Sales is knowing what to say. It's not about being altruistic. It's about being strategic and repetitious because you do say the same thing over and over and over again. But
how did you train yourself? Did you memorize them and make them a part of your own verbiage?
Yeah, I mean, like we got grilled pretty hard at my former at Dale Carnegie, and I ended up teaching the class, and I coach very hard. I'm very, not surprisingly, direct with people, but I make people repeat it to the point where when they leave the room, they're going to remember it. They're on the phone, they're at an open house, they're face to face with a customer, they're doing a presentation, your cortisol levels up. They can repeat what they need to repeat, sound competent and confident, and close and move the process forward. That's coaching. And I don't care.
And that's
military,
applicable to I was going to say that's applicable to anything. Yeah.
Auto mechanic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in repetition.
So you're just taking the same script and catering it to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's interesting. So, okay, Josh. All right, let's start with step one as to why it's beneficial to be mentored by you. Not everyone knows that, Josh. Not everyone knows that. It's not. You make it like it's common knowledge. It's not common knowledge. The reason you're so confident, right? Some of us have the natural ability to talk, like myself, but the reason you're so confident is because you already have the answer planted back. You're programmed.
Well, I would say that I'm well practiced.
Well, whatever. I didn't mean it to be negative, but yeah.
No, it's not. It's not negative, but
yeah.
It's like if you're in real estate sales, or you're a chiropractor and you have a new patient in your office, and this is I've been looking. I'm helping my chiropractor / friend tomorrow help with his overall social media, and I've been inundated, and there are scripts for chiropractors. There's a whole industry selling coaching to chiropractors.
Really?
On conversion. It's the same thing. Mortgage, chiropractic. I don't care what business you're in.
Yeah.
Most people fail because they don't know what to say. That is fact. That is gospel. If you know what to say, and more importantly, know what not to say, and waste your energy and their energy, you will convert at a higher rate. Fact. It just is what it is.
That's Jason. I hope you're writing these down. At minute number 20, we're at nugget number 2 for the reels, brother. Okay, so now I get it. Now let's fast forward again. So now you have this in you. You're a tiger. You're a sales tiger, right? You are ferocious, bro. Like, give me that. Like, I know you don't give that to me, bro. Like, you have that in you. You get into this office. You ninja kick the door down. You kick all the cancer out, right? And you build it the way you want to build it, right? Is that right? I'm hearing or no?
But I think that's yeah, and that's what I did in Jefferson and in Princeton over time. It was different because it was a more established office and there was bigger personalities and there's more at risk. So all of a sudden you start listening to that voice in your head. I shouldn't do that, and don't listen to that voice in your head. And but over time, and I do think a lot of people in the business world, and again, it doesn't matter what business. A lot of people don't monitor and write down and reflect, and there should be a lot of comfort in repetition and versus wasted energy. Like, you should, to an extent, have a positive routine to profit instead of every day should not be a new day. Every day should not be different. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it does.
Every meeting with your customer should not be a new meeting. It should be the same meeting.
Yeah.
Right. To get them to the outcome that they want. And so over time you figure those things out and you develop it. And I think that's why when we opened here at Queenston, we've grown so quickly, and we won't even hire an agent unless they've closed $6 million the year before, right? And they have to do that because our compensation plan is incredibly generous. That we won't stay in business, if we don't hire new people to this company.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in no negative things there, but it's just not where my brain or my heart is. I'd rather take a $10 million producer and make them into a 30 or 20 or 50, whatever they wanted to do.
And hold that thought, because I want to get back to that point. I want to hear how you do that. So that's and people that are watching this are going to want to hear what they do that, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, actually.
Yeah. I think a lot of people want to do it. I think people are afraid to do it. And then when they start to do it, they don't invest in coaching. And look, I have a coach. I've had a coach for 3 years, and it's been it started as real estate coaching, and it morphed like right under my nose. But I stayed with it, and thank God I did, because it just was what I needed at the time. It's if you're open-minded, right? Mm-hmm. When you're looking for the coach or the mentor, they're going to appear. Mm-hmm. Do you have the bravery to step through that door? Mm-hmm. And that's, most people don't, because they listen to fear and they go, and they listen to their ego, and their ego keeps them in check, and they stay stuck.
So
I think a lot of people,
success isn't a surprise to you. Success is expected because of the actions you're taking, the things you're doing. You expect success.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude. I dig that. That's cool. It's not a pleasant surprise. It's supposed to happen.
But when it happens, I have to tell you, it's a pretty awesome, pleasant surprise. Like, you're still like, we had our team dinner last week, and we took a team photo, and it was like,
I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, wow, like this is us. This is who we are. And, we're an office of 15 people, and we're on track to do close to 300 million this year. And,
wow.
It's a special place, but we built it with that outcome. We built it with what we wanted to be, as much as what we didn't want to be, right? And so do we expect success? Yes. Are we surprised when it happens? Pleasantly.
Yeah. Well, that's
humbly,
good. That's
like
good.
grateful, like
Listen,
incredibly
Josh,
gratefully.
There has to be some spontaneity, right?
Yeah, it's just like you look around, you're like, oh my God, like we did this, like, oh my God,
All right, so I'm not going to spend. I want to get. So you build that up. You're having success. Are you now making your ascension through the company, or you get promoted?
I stayed in Princeton for a long time.
Okay.
I have 3 kids, and I kind of made the mental decision. I just didn't want to go anywhere or do anything when my kids were little.
Yeah.
I was the baseball coach, and I went to all the kids' soccer meets and track meets, and when my daughter did cross country, and she liked it, and she was at every meet. I was at every meet.
Yeah.
When my friends who commute to New York, they didn't have that luxury. So for me, that was such a luxury. I would go home for lunch. I still do because I still live in Princeton, but it's a definite luxury to live and work locally. Even if you work over a 7-day span. But when the opportunity presented itself, when my youngest went to middle school, I took a regional position with Weicker. That's how I met Lisa Arcano, who I think is probably watching. And I covered South Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania for the company.
Got it. And were you selling actively, or were you just in a referral status?
I had an active license, but no, in leadership, you did not list and sell real estate.
Okay, so what are you? When you don't have to give us the proprietary secrets, but what are the things in the W Empire? What are you focusing on as your go? Like, what's your role?
What was my role as a regional vice president?
So you grow Princeton, and then what's next? Then what do you do?
So the role was I took over 3 states, and really it was to stabilize it. I'll be honest.
What does that mean? Let's translate that.
Well, if something's unstable, you want to stabilize it. Right?
I mean, was there agent support? Were you rewriting programs? What were you doing specifically?
I think it was a combination of developing a new management team. I think with the exception of maybe 4 offices, I hired 20 plus managers in 2 years.
Wow.
And opened Haddonfield for them.
Cool.
With the manager now of Morristown and Haddonfield, Eileen Conselman.
Oh, very cool.
It was honestly, looking back, it was the way it's set up. It's set up inefficiently because one person, even though I accomplished a lot, it's just the world moves too fast now for one person to manage infrastructure, training, coaching, recruiting, develop.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That was a lot. I mean, so your goal, the struggle is bringing them in and then keeping them there, right?
Yeah, my job and my role at that point was developing managers, and really, I think creating, or I would say recreating the culture for the company in that region, in that market area, which I did.
And for people that don't know, because everyone sees the real estate agent, right? There's the offices themselves are managed by individual heads, and the traditional models, do those managers get a piece of all the production as well as a base? How does that work?
It depends. It depends on the company and the office and the profit and the lack of profit. If there's if you're rebuilding the office, probably not. If it's a big successful office, probably. I think people in the sales world should be tied to outcomes, which is sales. So, it's a good way to run your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's there's some accountability in that too, that I think everyone gets a little lax. Even myself, I'm not gonna lie. I have to start remembering to ask for business because I like to fart around. Have a little too much fun, but what can I do? All right, so cool. So you get out, they fire you. Thanksgiving, you get it. It was a blessing in disguise. It sounds like
total blessing. It was pretty devastating at the time, but it was a blessing in disguise.
Would you have ever left? You think?
No,
you wouldn't have left.
No, I would have fought it out.
Interesting. And that's just because of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's you fighting against yourself at that point. I get it.
100%.
Yep. I get 100%. It. I get it. I totally get it. All right. So this happens, and you did you go work? Oh yeah, you ended up going. No. Yes.
So I had a 7-month no work. Wasn't allowed to work.
Weren't allowed to work. Were you allowed? Did they give you money?
No.
So wait. You're unemployed. Okay. I don't know. Okay, we probably won't touch that one. But anyway, okay. So you couldn't do anything for 7 months. And in the 7 months, is this where the birth of Queenston came?
So that's how we ended up developing this company. And look, during those 7 months, it wasn't easy. My mom died in those 7 months, but at the same time, when you look back on the blessings of life, I got to spend an amazing amount of time with her.
Yeah.
And my dad, and so you're like, oh, fired, all these things going on. That sucks. But at the same time, I would never have stopped working as hard as I was working to spend time at home. Does that make sense? So
absolutely.
the universe is it's always going to present you with what you want. It's probably never going to be in the shape that you ask for it. Like, this is what I always tell my team in the mornings, right? Because we practice, affirmations, and we write a journal. I ask them to anyway. I can't make anyone do it, but and it's very specific. And I say, you want to write down your outcomes, but you want to be clear about it, right? Because if you say to the universe, look, I want a peanut butter sandwich, you're going to leave the office, you're going to get hit by a car, you're going to wake up 4 days later in the hospital, and the first thing the nurse is going to give you is a peanut butter sandwich. You're like, wait a minute, that's not what I want. Well, that's what you asked for. So you have to be very clear with where you're going. And again, I do think going back to people who want to start a team, or they're afraid to be clear because they're afraid to fail. Right? And failure is inevitable. Like, it's part of the gig, in every aspect of your life. It is. So just be clear, work towards it, monitor the failure, and recalibrate and move on with your life. Right. That's right, Lisa. Listen to the universe.
She did. She took a big leap. She used to have a nice, stable, cushy career.
I remember. I saw it. I watched her go to Weichert and develop an amazing business for herself,
Yeah, and now she drives a car with her face on the side.
That's right. I've seen it.
That's how you make it. That's how you know you've made it in this world.
That's how you know you made it. When you have a car with your face on it.
All right, so
you and I will never have a car with our faces on it, ever.
I'll probably get divorced if I do. Oh my God. So, all right. So you're like, you know what? I've had it. You call it, you get these two partners. How do the partners meet? How did that come together?
So Vanessa, one of my partners, actually, I hired her from an outfit here in Princeton to manage the Yardley, Pennsylvania office.
Oh, okay.
And, after they did what they did to me, she quit, and she hung on to, try and make a transition. And then Ingela, who's our other partner, she was the top producer, not only Princeton, I think she was the top producer in the company. Wow. She's like, I quit. I came here for you. I'm not staying if this is what they do to you.
Wow.
And so we just sort of figured out that we wanted to do our own thing. And really what we focused on was what we didn't want to be.
Which was?
And, we didn't want to, the reality is, right, and this is where brokers play the Jedi mind trick with agents. For the agents, it's your business. I'm not saying if you have a dead bang coach, like Lisa has a dead bang coach in Eileen Konsman, dead bang, probably the best in the business. If you have a dead bang coach, that's awesome. Most
what
people.
Is it? Wait, I'm sorry. Are you saying dead bank?
Bang, BANG, dead bang.
What does that mean?
Dead bang, like boom, awesome, dead bang. Yeah. And she does, like Lisa, I'm telling you, Eileen Konsman is probably the best in the business in terms of developing associates business. So if you have that, great. But most brokers will try to convince the agent that you're only successful because of the broker. That is just that is the oldest real estate Jedi mind trick on the planet. It's not true. They may have a system you take advantage of, like lead generation or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's you converted them. You did the work. It's your business. You're the reason you're successful. So when we open this business, we open it to be as agent friendly as possible. Like our compensation plan is borderline ridiculous. If an agent decides to leave the company, and nobody has, but if they do, we don't keep their listings. We don't keep their pending business. There's no penalty because they own it. We don't have paternity on their business. We pay them on title equity. We're going to start an insurance company. We're going to pay them on insurance equity. They make a referral to the property management company. They get a referral fee. They make a referral to the referral company. They get a referral fee. We have a development company. They refer to that. They get a referral fee. So every business we have, the agent either has equity ownership and shares, or they get paid. So other people have downlines and all that other stuff. We're not big enough to have that. And we don't keep enough of the agent's money to there's not enough left. So we develop these other businesses where we just give them ownership in it and we pay them that way.
It sounds like you've really developed this. I mean, obviously everyone's in business to be profitable, but it sounds more like you're doing it to succeed with other like-minded people,
Oh yeah.
and more so than just suck them dry, for lack of
Yeah, we're very cautious about who we hire and bring on. We're very cautious about it. And because we're small and we are a boutique, and we're going to cap at 25 principal agents, meaning once we hit 25 people, you want to join, there will be a waiting list for principal agents to join, because we don't want to go above that, because as the broker manager, that's all I'm comfortable coaching.
Right.
That's it. Like
Right.
that's if there's a great book, but that's a platoon, and that's all you can manage. And so and then the title company be profitable, the insurance company be profitable. Now, if Lisa joins the company and she starts a team and I help her scale that, she talks to her team members. I will coach them on the Monday, Friday sessions, but I'm not answering their GATA minutes. There's no like wasted energy in our world for mundane routine questions. It's not who we are, so I'd rather work with an agent who's at 10 million and get them to 20.
So talk to me about that. So I want you to tell me the philosophy, the basic foundational philosophies. And this is what I love. Dude, you're a scholar. You're like a freaking scholar in this stuff. You don't meet people that are this heady, and it's funny because, I've been around people that are in all walks of life in this business, and a lot of people don't know. Why are you so successful? I don't know. Can you teach other people? I don't know. The I don't knows are it's all over the place, right? It's just, to be honest, it's true. So right? You have it planned out, and I love that. I really do, because that's a true mentor, in my opinion. So start with the basic agent, the one out of the gate, 0 to what's your first level? 0 to what?
6 million.
All right, so 0 to 6 million. What are they supposed to be doing?
Well, I would say, without any ego, Monday, Friday, I offer a coaching session, 10:30 and 11 o'clock. Show up.
So now let's generalize that, right?
Yep.
Even if it's not specifically you, either should they should be under someone that knows what the hell they're talking about. Is that the general point? Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it's kind of the first thing. Everybody should have a DISC assessment done, right? I don't know if you know what DISC is.
Is that the chiropractic sales part? Or
no, that's different. That's different. So DISC it's, for lack of a better description, it's sort of like your personality assessment in business.
Got it.
And you've alluded to this. I'm a high D, and there's a joke there, but that means dominant, not the other word. And a high C, which means very conscientious, analytic, right? So not surprising. I'm very driven, very dominant, but I'm also very analytical, right? So D is dominant, I is interpersonal, S is steady and amiable, C is conscientious, analytic. So the first thing you need to do when you join here really is get your DISC profile, because if you're an S and I coach you like a D, I'm going to freak you the heck out and you're going to like never come back.
Yeah.
But if I coach you to be the best version of you, and I know who you are, and more importantly, you know who you are, and you do shit that you like, not stuff that you hate, then you're gonna smoke it. Like anybody can do anything so long as they're doing things they naturally like to do, and they improve on, and they see
that is so true. Like as I get older, it becomes more like I just want to do what I like to do.
Well, it's there's power in new things, right? But there's like. A high D is not afraid to knock on doors, make cold calls, do all of that stuff. A high I is going to be very interpersonal. They're the networker in the room. They're going to work the room. They're going to glad hand people. So when I tell people in social settings that I have social anxiety, they don't believe me. I have social anxiety. I hate networking events. I hate it. I don't like it. Freaks me out. I'll knock on 100 doors. I'll make 1,000 cold calls. Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So everybody's got a different rhythm, So
that's really important, though, Josh. Here, let me hone in on that. When the hardest part is to figure out the first step, and you get inundated with. There's so much you can do.
There's so much
you can do. And what you're saying is, if you hone in on what you like to do and focus in on that, you'll just become that much more successful.
Correct. And
That's dope, man. I like that.
correct.
That's good.
Because otherwise you're just
Yeah.
wasting your energy on stuff that,
Yeah.
and again, that's it's not a
Yeah.
problem at a traditional brokerage because they, altruistically try to teach you a lot of stuff,
Yep.
but they are teaching it in a blanket format.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to make cold calls today. And then the S is just going to be like,
yeah. Yeah. It's true, man.
They're just going to exit very quietly, stage right. And then when the D, when there's a personality, like you have to sit op time. The high Ds can be like, sit op time. I don't fit. Like, I want to go like put my head through the wall. So you have to coach to who they are and what they're naturally inclined to do. That's very, very important.
That's dope, man. I love that.
Then, your whole approach to how you coach them changes and, what their own expectations of themselves are. And you're going to talk to them in a different language because you're going to talk to them in stuff that makes sense to them.
Okay. So that's the first part. Then you set up a plan of attack for them based off of that.
Yeah. I keep it very simple. Like our approach is exceedingly simple. So
are you taking me out of the $6 million realm? Because I just want to know where I'm at now. Are you taking me out of that?
But at least when I first got in the business, all I did was knock on doors and cold call. Go figure. I now love networking, take cold calling. But Lisa is the natural networker. You're a high I, Lisa. Trust me.
If you are a high I.
I'm betting Chad $50. You're a high I. $50. You have a high. You're a D too, but like you have a high I, very interpersonal. Right, that's who you are. I'm like the lowest I. Apparently, I have like no interpersonal skills, but I don't care because I'm a high D.
Yeah, you don't care as long as you stick to your letter.
So coaching people to the best version of them is important, and then just looking at. I'm a big focus on wasted energy. Like if you're doing an open house, and I don't care how many people came through it, I care how many appointments you set. Does that make sense? Don't ever tell me, it was so busy. I don't care. How many appointments did you set? And, I coach to outcomes. I coach to efficiency. I coach to scripts. I coach to a CRM. We use KV Core here. I'm not going to really teach you social media other than very basic stuff because it moves too fast, so it's not my thing. So, I will teach you how to attack a farm and take down a farm. I'll teach you how to run sphere of influence events, which we run for our agents, right? Like we just run those for the agents, and then all they have to do is invite their people. So we take it like what's
the goal out of that? I'm curious. What's in the back? When you run those? What are you doing in those?
It's, I like to do a lot of customer facing events. So Saturday morning, we're doing a market seminar, and the market seminar is just what's going on in the market in an incredibly high level of detail. And when the consumer leaves that meeting, right, they're going to be informed. They're going to know exactly what's going on. And they're going to know more or less exactly what they have to do. They should still do an individual consultation with their agent. But, the two people on my team, they have 20 people coming to this. 20.
Wow.
So think about it. They've been working at it. They organize their CRM in a very simple manner, right? Very most uncomplicated thing I could learn. You get 20 people at this seminar, you're selling 2/3 of them a home because that's what they're there for. They're not there because they want to be your friend. They're there for great service and to get what they want. They want a home for them, family, for their parents, for themselves, for their kids. They want a home.
Yep.
If you can't deliver that to them, they're going to find somebody who can.
And you know something, Josh, to put some context to it, you're in a very unique area. So Princeton is this highly desirable, super small pocket, and it's very hard to get listings and buy because of how hyper competitive it is. So if you aren't that targeted in, no matter who it is, you're not going to get a house. Yeah,
you're not. But I think that is a major faux pas in the real estate world where I have a license, I'll sell anywhere. Right? So I do not sell anywhere. I sell in Mercer County, primarily Princeton, Montgomery, West Windsor. Cranberry. Those, and out of that, primarily Princeton. All of my marketing is focused on Princeton. All of it. Not a penny really gets spent outside of Princeton because that's my market. So I think what happens is agents become generalists, right? And I think the consumer ultimately will seek out a specialist.
That's a great point.
I believe that. And what happens is if you have $10 to spend on marketing,
what's up, T? Live from the Poconos.
If you have $10 to spend on marketing and you spend $1 in 10 different towns, please tell me the efficacy of that.
Yeah.
But if you spend $10 in one neighborhood in one town, you're going to get a return. Now, if you do that consistently over time, right? Practice makes permanent, and you develop your message and hone your message. That's what people want to hear. That's what people want to see. You know. And by the way, realtors, they don't care about your awards. This is my least favorite season, realtor award season. Like LeBron James, when he makes the playoffs, he shuts off his social media because he doesn't want to hear it. I'm shutting off my social media for 30 days because I'm a realtor and I got an award. Nobody cares. I definitely don't care. So please stop.
Oh my God. All right. So all of this is mind blowing to me, by the way. Like, I know this stuff about you, but like hearing you talk about it. So like when someone says, why would I go to Josh? You're very, this is why, like bing, 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 bing. So you're not sitting there, saying to yourself, well, what do I do? Or where do I go? So, all right. So let's get on a $6 million guy. We're gone. Get me to this. And this is a lot of people. And I'll be honest with you, Josh, I'm going to be very authentic. I have a lot of growth to do. I've reached a good level and I want to go to that level. So I want to hear, I'm dying to hear this part. I really am. So the person that you hone in on is the $10 million guy or the six. Did you say 6 or 10?
Whatever. Doesn't matter. I have a gentleman who joined our company. He's $30 million, right?
Okay, 30. So what the hell do you help him do?
What's that?
So what do you help him do? He's doing well.
He's doing wonderfully, but he wanted to grow a team.
Yeah.
And like you said, he wasn't in a place where someone was going to show him that. He just hired his third person. Now, his biggest challenge, and I will say this, every real estate agent's biggest challenge is letting go, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did when we started here, we hired a transaction coordinator for our office, right? Agent pays for it. Like, we don't pay for it. The first thing I tell agents is start using the transaction coordinator. And this is a line from my coach, Danny Morrell, and you can look him up. He's awesome. Where your mind goes, your energy follows. And here's what I mean by that, right? I'm a realtor and I sell a customer a house. And by the way, it's not easy, right? It is a gunfight out there. So I'm not making light of it. It's brutal. Now I have to get that house and that customer to the closing, right? So all of my mind is now on emails, and it's on attorney review, and it's on deposits, and it's on when's the home inspection, and it's on following up the deposit go in and all this stuff. So I'd sell a house, get the customer what they want, and then all of my mind, right? And where your mind goes, your energy follows, and that's from Danny. That's not from me. Get stuck on that stuff, but you already sold the house. The transaction coordinator is going to do all of that stuff, right? But the story that the agent tells themselves is, I'm the only one that can do it. That is a lie. That is a lie. That's your ego. You're validating yourself by the amount of scut work you're doing for no money. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You have an 11% fall through rate. That's the average. That's my average. It's actually less than that. It's 6%. So I know 94% chance this thing's going to closing. So the first thing a realtor has to do is delegate to the transaction coordinator and just let go. And it's the first time you do it, you're going to be like this. And then you're going to be like this. And then you're going to be like this. And then you're going to be like this. This is great. Like, I'm not like paying attention to any stuff. Like, because Lynn is a killer. She's a licensed agent. She's on our MLSs. So somebody said, how do you make a transaction bill? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't do it. Lynn does it. I don't do any of that stuff because there's no money in that for me. My job is setting the next customer down, doing the buyer consultation with them, and telling them, like you said, Princeton is so brutal, how to operate as a buyer in this market environment. Right? So that's my job. I don't get paid to check my email. As a matter of fact, I don't check my email.
Lynn checks my email.
I have 2 people checking my email. You think I'm kidding? And by the way,
no, I don't think you're kidding. I don't. You know what you know what it is, Josh? It's not that I don't think you're kidding. It's that
was a 3-year journey, though.
No, that's what I was going to say. That what you just hit the nail on the head. It's unwinding yourself to allow that stuff to happen. It's the same thing with eating for me, dude. I love shit food. Like I have to unwind myself.
I watch you on Facebook, brother. I know. We all know you and Mark. I'm not even saying.
But it's you're right. Like you're 100% right. It's unwinding and you know, for you to your point, to go 10-fold, to go 20-fold, to go 30-fold.
First thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Transaction coordinator.
Okay.
That's the first thing you have to do. You have to let go of this.
Yep.
There's no money in this.
Yep.
Right? And here's what agents do.
Yeah.
How's your day? Oh, I worked so hard. No, you didn't. You checked email all day.
Yeah.
Working is knowing your desk, talking to customers in a space that you're comfortable, buyer, seller, landlord, tenant, knowing what to say when you talk to them, conversion, script, close for an appointment, presentation. They will not make a move without consulting you because you are the subject matter expert. That's it. So that's the first thing, is to let go of that.
And then when they come in and they've succeeded, I mean, no matter what, they've succeeded. They're at 10 million, they're at 20 million, they're at 30 million, right? They've succeeded. Do you sit there and look at what they do and tell them what they're doing wrong? Or do you
Nobody does anything wrong. There's no wrong. Like the
Yeah.
wrong is like a human guilt thing. And there's no such thing as guilt, really. Like it's a false energy, right? So either you're efficient or you're inefficient. That's it. So what I am obsessed about is efficiency. That's it. So we just kind of revamped our buyer consultation. Everybody in the office is going to get a customized version. And again, here's what we do. I literally made it, and I did 5 buyer consultations a week, took notes, sent it back to our designer, said, change this, change that, change this. And he would say, what about this? I say, great. So this was like a 3.5, 4-month effort, but it wasn't like made by some marketing person in a room. I made it because this is all I do. Right. So then I have a choice. I can give it to the agents, and Lisa gets a copy. Now, Lisa has, and I know this because for social media, as kids, I know they play soccer. She's all over the place selling real estate, all this stuff. Do you think Lisa at 10 o'clock at night has any desire to customize a buyer consultation? No. Neither does Teresa, neither do I, and neither do you, even though you're a superstar lender. So what we do as the brand, we say, look, all we need is this information. Please give it to us. Once you do that, we will pay the designer to give you back the finished product. Done. And all you do is show up, and I will coach you on the delivery because that's my job. So I'm obsessed about efficiency. I'm obsessed, like color by number. I love that. Color by number is how business should be run.
So basically the goal, if I understand you, is you're doing all these fishing rods to get that lead, the inbound. And then when you get that inbound, it's conversion.
Yeah. And a lot of it is, subjective to your personality. So like, if you can't coach somebody to the wrong thing. And I did it for years because that's the way, like you said, the industry did it. Teach Lisa Arcano, who's like a murderer networker, had a cold call. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to that person?
Yeah.
Put Lisa, every day, go to a different networking event, get 15 cards, right? Put them in your CRM, put them on a drip, follow up with them. She would have been like 10 million her first year.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, if you told me to do that, I would have had an anxiety attack and puked in the toilet because I don't like doing that stuff.
No, it makes Dude, it makes complete total sense. And what are you finding? Are people, when they're coming to you at this point in their career, are they pretty direct in knowing what they need?
No,
Yeah.
they know where they want to go.
Yeah.
People have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
right? They have an idea of where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid. I think it goes back to something you said, with some rare exceptions. Lisa's manager being one of them. The Opus Elite guys being another amazing exception.
Mm-hmm.
Most managers are generalists.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bad people. They're just not good coaches, and they're not
Mhm.
builders, and they're not developers of human beings. So
And that's why they're always over anxious that the sky's falling and they're going to lose it all because they have no freaking plan.
it's not that, I mean, you have a plan, but it's like, it's sort of like, so, we have
Yeah,
a
but
lady
it's bullshit, Josh. It's bullshit, right? Like 9 times out of 10, it's bullshit. How are you going to really help someone's business? It's bullshit. Like
you're going to help them. Look, the best. This is something I heard the other day, not to really, we'll jump the shark on theology, but like
yeah,
the entire Bible, right? You can boil it down to, there's all these things and how you get to heaven. The one phrase everybody forgets is, I enter the kingdom of God from within, right? And I'm not a theological person. I'm not a religious person, but the same applies to business,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You will get to where you want to go by going inside and dealing with your shit. That's how you do it. So how do you do it? You wake up. I recommend The Miracle Morning. If you haven't read his book, Hal Elrod, I met him in person. Amazing guy, like amazing story. I followed The Miracle Morning. I kind of did it, but I hired a coach. The coach brought in Hal to speak. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. And now I do it to the letter, right?
Wow.
I do the Mendy in the morning. What's the Mendy? They gamified meditation. I meditate every morning. I journal every morning. I ice bath in the morning. I do all of these things. Now, I say to my team and the brokerage, you should do these things. Everyone's going to get there as they unwind the story in their head.
Right.
As they deal with their own fears and insecurities. And I don't care if you're 30 million, 10 million, 6 million, or 2 million.
Right.
We all have stuff to like head floss out.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, and I'm very direct about that. And I tell everybody, this is what you have to do to deal with that story. Do it, don't do it. And I have people here who are, I don't want to say they've plateaued, but they still haven't let go to the transaction coordinator. Here's the story I hear. I don't have enough business to give it to a transaction coordinator. That's why you don't have enough business. Because you're doing all this shit. Are you kidding me right now? They're here in a top producing boutique firm with me, literally talking to them like this. This is how I talk to agents. And they go, and they run out of the room.
I love that though, man. Like everything you're saying sounds very logical. I mean, nothing you've said to me has been like, right? And I think that's really comes back in full scale to when you started, which you're just making it simple. You're making the path to success simple, and it's just a matter of if they're going to unwind. That's all.
But again, like I am a very different person than I was 3.5 years ago. Like that version of me is dead, and this is the new version of me. And it's not better or worse; it's just different. But when I tell you, I put in a tremendous amount of time and spend a lot of money, thousands of dollars a month on coaching to get to this point. I did.
Yeah.
But that's why that's why I will have 20 people in my brokerage, 25. We'll do 350, 400 million bucks.
And
if you can find me,
and therein lies the nugget, Josh. Therein lies the biggest nugget of it all, right?
So if you can find me a manager that says, I'll take you from 10 to 20, I'm not going to deal with this shit for you. Like, I'll tell you how I did it. You're going to go on your own path and deal with it. But I'll give you the path based on who you are to be successful in your market segment. And I know, like, Teresa's in the Poconos. I don't really care. We were in a panel with Mark and his crew. She's like the same way. Be local, be specific, like be, so everybody's different.
Teresa's really interesting. You know where she's found a lot of success? In the Facebook groups.
I know. She told me
she
infiltrates the groups.
Dude,
she's like a Russian. She's the Russian spy realtor in the Poconos. She infiltrates stuff.
She will literally buy something for $5 just to meet the person.
Just to meet them. Like she spends $5. I couldn't do that. I would freak the F out. Hey, Teresa, it's true. I couldn't do it.
And what letter would that be?
Her?
Yeah.
She's a high I, high D.
Okay. All right. I still got to master
in that
those.
order.
I still got to master those. But I mean,
what
Josh,
I'll do is I'll post on your I'll post
whatever.
on your,
Now
yeah,
I think you did, Teresa. I think it's your calling. It's like the peanut butter sandwich. Yeah.
When she told me she did that, I was like, that's so amazing. But like, that's I think, but that's why I know I guess what I've learned in the last 3.5 years, right? Through all the work I've done is who I'm not. Mm-hmm. And I'm very comfortable with who I'm not. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, most people will go through life and they will never tell you to your face, they're very comfortable with who they are. And I wasn't for 49.5 years of my life. I am. And that allows me to be even more direct than I was. And Lisa knew me, back in the Weicker days. I was pretty direct, but now I'm like ridiculously direct because I'm not going to take on your energy and your ego of like placid. Like I'm not here. I'm going here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get there. You can come with me at your own pace. Mm-hmm. So like that's just who we are. Mm-hmm. And that's just the energy of the office. So, but again, I wasn't that way at Weicker. I wasn't that way before, the journey I've had in the last 3.5 years,
But I think the biggest message of all is the fact that you're saying that you need to invest the time and the money and the effort and the resources to getting your shit together.
On yourself.
Yep.
So look at it like this, right? So Danny Morrell is my coach, right? He's an amazing human being. Consider him a friend. And so understand this, right? I'd gotten fired from Weicker the day before Thanksgiving. A couple months later, I'm getting a divorce. My mom's dying. I have no money coming in, zero. And I'm not allowed to work. I meet with Danny on Zoom, and he was gracious enough because he had a couple different programs. It was real estate coaching at the time, though. He's very big into the mental game, the best mental coach, I think, on the planet. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. And I had met with a guy who was at Weicker at the time, who was doing coaching with him. I'm like, it was actually his journal that got me, like his daily journal. I'm like, what is this? And I took a picture of it, And so think about this: no money, not allowed to work, fired, getting a divorce, mom's dying, and I give Danny my credit card, and now he's clipping me for a couple of grand a month.
If there was ever a bigger dive to take, yeah.
But like I said, when you need it, a coach will appear. Do you have the audacity to go deep inside and bet on yourself? Most people do not. Most people will blame. They'll be angry. They'll be upset. It's this person. It's that person. It's this person. It's that person.
Teresa wants to know if you'll coach her.
I think she's looking for Danny. It's Danny Morrell. You want me? You don't want me as your coach. I'm a good real estate coach. Look, and here's the thing too. Like I literally took a kid who made $0. Zero. He closed $8 million his first year on my team.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It's Danny Morrell, Teresa. He's a good dude too. Like, and he's all over Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And he's actually going to be in New York.
Is Morrell his real last name?
Morrell, Morrell, Danny Morrell. He's actually having an event in New York in 2 weeks. Yeah, he's very big into the mental side, man. I'm telling you, crazy big into the mental side of it. But I thought I was signing up for real estate coaching, spending money, not allowed to work. Now I'm like, all right, literally interviewed, couldn't get a job because I had to work 2 hours away. Wasn't allowed even to work because my previous employer wouldn't let me, right? And then I'm like, F it. I'm just going to open this business with Vanessa in England, thank God. And I just made that bet. And I remember having that conversation with England. I'm like, this is it. Like, I'm all in. And she said, good. She said, good.
Crazy, dude.
And then we just did it, you know?
Crazy. So now where's your head at now? Do you do sales or is it mainly just growth?
Yeah. So, you know, I personally had a $6 million month for
Wow.
sales.
Month.
We
Woo!
hired, and it's not easy to do. Like, it's a gunfight up here, right? It's
Oh,
bad.
I'm telling you,
And
they're battling for the smallest piece of land. I get it.
oof, it's
Yeah, I
bad.
know. Yeah.
And I just hired somebody to my team. We hired a couple people to the brokerage. We're about to open the insurance company. We're going to open the abstract company in Pennsylvania. And again, our abstract company is agent owned, meaning the agents have equity in it. And I know the Opus Elite guys did the same thing. And, you know, boom shakalaka, Lisa. There you go. I love that. I just, that is like, she's got to copyright that kid. But, so, you know, we're very busy here. And, you know, so where are we going? You know, we're going to open the abstract company in Pennsylvania. I have to get the property management company over there too. So we're just going to continue to grow each company, pay the agents as much as we possibly can as along the way. And just kind of, like I said, we're very protective of our culture. I would like to open a version of this office in South Jersey, a boutique for top producers. And at some point, a version of this office in, you know, Philadelphia, probably.
Very cool,
And,
man.
yeah.
Very cool. And then what's your, like, now that you're, you know, at this point in your life and you have some clarity, what's the goal? Is your biggest reward seeing the growth of the agents? Is that where you're, or is it a little bit of both?
You know, I'll say this. That's a really profound question. I don't know if you realize how profound that question is.
I mean, I like to think I'm a little deep, man. I know. I mean, let's be totally honest, Josh. Like, I have fun, but come on, these are good questions.
That was an incredibly profound question. So I'll say this.
Yeah.
You know, 3 years ago, I was unemployed. I don't want to say I had no options. I had options, but you know, so for me, what's my greatest thing? I think I find so much gratitude in what I do and who I do it with every day. Like I do a gratitude journal every day. And I literally write down, I'm grateful for my partners, my staff, our associates, my kid, but you know, from a work context, every single day I write down how grateful I am for my partners, our associates, and our staff. And like, that's most people, I think, in a work context, they don't feel that way. You know, they feel like it's work. So for me, like the level of happiness that comes with all of it, like watching Nicole, who came here from, you know, a big box broker, watching her like find her confidence so quickly. So she was a $10 million producer every year. And she came here and she sent an email after she decided to join. She said she met with myself, Vanessa, and Ingela.
Oh man, the tech was doing so good. Josh, we lost you. Wait. Hold on, guys. We just missed the best part. The icing on the cake, and we're missing it.
Oh, wait. Why mute came on.
Okay, got it.
She came over and she sent us an email, the three of us, the three partners, and she said, I'm joining you. And this literally, I will never forget this for the rest of my life. I am joining your company to become the best version of myself. So that's, I would say, if you ask me where I'm at on a business side, that's where I'm at. On a personal side, I'll say I've never been happier, like ever, with, you know, my relationship and my dad and, you know, my personal relationship. So, but that's where we're at. When you take somebody and you get them to where they want to go and you just help, you know, lay the path, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I mean, it's also cool. Look, at the end of the day too, Josh, I asked the question for a reason, because you found yourself as well. And I'm hoping you still take a lot of, a lot of positives from your own personal success, and I'm asking because selfishly I want to know, are you still hitting goals for yourself numbers wise?
Yeah, no, um I have my year broken down into the quarter, to the month, to the week.
I'm shocked.
Are you
I'm
teasing
shocked.
me? Again, I give the same methodology to the associates.
Yeah. Yeah, but you want to know something that's interesting, Josh? I think that you doing that gives you a lot of peace of mind. I know it would for me too. And I think that's a big thing because when you don't have that, it's a lot of nervousness and anxiety because I get that way. I feel like, and everyone in this business watching this can relate. I feel like I'm Jekyll and Hyde. When the phone isn't ringing one day and I haven't done any deals, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's going on? And then the next day, God damn it, I love this shit. Yeah.
Well, it's like this. So I'll say this, right? So I
Yeah.
coach to ridiculous simplicity, right? So if you're a realtor and you're using a CRM, I don't care if it's KV Core, Follow Up Boss, Boomtown, I don't give a shit.
You do though. You love KV Core. Let's be honest.
We use KV Core. We use it. It's for us. It's a cost efficient delivery mechanism, and it's good.
And I'm going to
right?
tell you something, Josh. And I'm going to be honest. That shit is not easy.
It's not, but it's good, right? But it's not easy if you want to make it hard.
Right.
So here's a tip for every realtor: you get a buyer, you hashtag them, buyer. If they're a Haddonfield buyer for Lisa, Haddonfield buyer, Princeton buyer. I don't really know the Poconos Teresa, Poconos buyer, whatever. Then the critical hashtag is A, B, C, or D. They're an A buyer if you've done a buyer consultation. They're a B buyer if you're kind of taking them out and talking to them, but you've not done the consultation. You do that every day for 6 months. You will know exactly what your pipeline is. Anybody on my team, I could call anybody on my team right now, my personal sales team, and say, go to your A's, tell me how many there are, tell me what they're up to. And they're going to go 57, boom, 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 boom. So one of the guys on my team, he has like 439 buyer leads in his C hashtag. I said, for the seminar this Saturday, your job is 5 from the C's, 5 from the B's. So he's got 10 people booked to the seminar this Saturday because he focused on simplicity, not complicated. So you wake up in the morning, you should know exactly what the F to do. Get the D's to the C's to the B's to the A's. Most people go to KV Core and go, it's so hard. That's your ego. That's the story you're telling yourself. That's why you're not going to go to 20 million. And that's the bullshit you've been feeding yourself about everything you fucking do in life. That's not my energy. And you're not going to infect me with it because I know what works. That's just what it is.
So you're saying you won't hire me. Is that?
I would hire you, dude. I would hire you. I would put a very strict protocol on your food consumption in front of me. But other than that, I would hire you.
Listen, man, I had a blast.
It's good seeing you, man. It's been a bit.
God, it's been too long. I do owe you a visit. I did tell you to come see the office.
Yeah, we should. I know.
Yeah, I do owe you a visit. I hope everyone got this far in the show because, man, Josh, man, I gotta have you on more. I need this energy, bro. I need this energy. I feel like I'm gonna succeed tomorrow just because of this show. I really do.
Well, you know.
I gotta tell you, man, it's very rare to meet someone like yourself that has success down so well and has the rhythm and has the recipe.
But
and
dude,
has
keep this in mind. 3 years ago, I was unemployed.
Yeah.
Unemployed.
Yeah.
My former company was my identity.
Yeah.
That was a hard breakup. 3 years later, thousands of dollars of personal investment. I'm sitting here today. I co-own 6 companies. We're starting another one. We run a really nice, beautiful boutique in a really cool part of town. In a really cool town, I should say. And I am, like I said, the most grateful person on the planet to work with whom I work with. And by the way, Chad, I met you and Mark and Volkan on that journey.
Yep. I
Like,
remember.
we wouldn't be having this conversation
Yep.
had I not got terminated, you know?
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I remember, man. I remember it well. And you are a different person. And look,
yeah.
all those fluffy things are nice, but you're also lethal. And I kind of like that's kind of sexy, Josh. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I am a Virgo, and we're most likely to be a serial killer. So I guess that goes with that, you know.
That would be a big S. Oh my God. Well, I had too much fun. Please.
Yeah, it's great
please,
seeing you, bud.
Yeah, you too, man. Please make sure you come back on this show.
Anytime.
Yeah.
And we're gonna reverse this. I have to get you on my podcast.
Yeah,
So.
I would love it, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hopefully everyone made it to the end. And if you didn't, we're going to do a bunch of reels. Jason's going to get super busy on the editing side. Josh, continued much success, my friend.
You too, Chad.
I'm so happy.
Kick Mark's ass in the contest too, okay?
I will. If I can get down to 10 more pounds, I think I got this sealed, bro.
All right, I'm gonna put $10 on. I'm gonna bet Volkan $10 on you.
I appreciate that. And we're gonna let everyone go. Thanks for watching another edition of Superstars Podcast. We will see you next time.
Thanks, Chad.
You got it, bro.